Fala.
Social media, France,
Malaysia,
South Korea,
Australia, and
This is my shout out to
BEATBOX International.
Might trick me once, I won't let you trick me twice, no.
What's your real name and where are you from?
My non-fake name is Dan. Yeah, Dan, and I'm from Swindon. Yeah, it's a pretty good beatboxy town, to be fair. Yeah, Swindon, born and raised. I still live there. I am 22 right now, and I've been beatboxing for, I'll say 13 years this year. It's a long time. Beatboxing for me is my career, and it's also my biggest passion. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, music's my biggest passion, and beatbox is like the biggest element inside that. So, yeah, beatbox is a lot, and I'm always progressing it. In fact, it's like it takes up a lot of my life. So, yeah, it's a lot. Pretty cool story. I mean, it's a pretty different one. Like no one online inspired me. It was like my family friends had a kid, and he was like beatboxing really rubbish by habit. And then I used to go around there quite a lot, and then I picked up the habit just as a habit, and then the habit just progressed and progressed and progressed and progressed, and now I'm here. I get inspired by listening to new music artists. Beatbox is less of a inspiring outlet to me compared to music now, because that's where my style is transgressing to. But I still like to keep up with the new school eras. Since I become kind of known in the scene of beatbox anyway, for about 5 years now, I've been trying to keep at the top. So the good new beatboxers keep inspiring me to make sure that I'm at the top of my game. And then, yeah, I like to beatbox after listening to music, or maybe even watching I like watching real life people go on the stage, like Britain's Got Talent, like Got Talents, like X Factors, and when they get the chance to perform and express themselves, that inspires me to do the same thing. So that's pretty good stuff, inspiring.
Pull myself together, it's gonna stay with me forever.
I'd say someone that's got all the fundamentals down. That's the most important thing before jumping into being so inspired into sounds. It's good to get time in. I'd say a good advice to time in is to beatbox with music as opposed to a metronome, which is cool, but to me, nothing's more boring than... So like, music's a metronome, beatbox along to that and you get all sorts of influences. So getting things down like that is strong. Having a nice clean sound set before you start experimenting further, that will make you a good beatboxer. I think it's different because I use you can say my own sound pack, because I didn't know the beatbox scene for the first kind of 7-ish years of my beatbox. I didn't know any of the worldwide community. So when I came into the scene, I already had all the sounds that my mouth had just made by habit. I was left with quite a few original sounds, and that makes me different. I guess the way that I structure my music too. So I retract myself from covers just to create originals. Then that keeps me different because no one's made that original, only me. I got the D-Lo zipper, so that's made by D-Lo, and that's me. I can roll it nowadays, but it's hard. It's like... So that's a pretty cool little sound to mess with. Okay. Yeah. That's a nice little flow, actually.
Yeah.
LOS's vocal snare is sick, like perfect. Like it's perfect. I like the newer ones, so like everyone, you get hyped over the newest sounds that come in. River's weird sound. River from France, it's got that like yeah, it's a good sound. I like that. I kind of like just the flows of stuff. I like the flow of X-Flaw's stuff. That's sick. I remember listening to Major from his GBB WILDCARD last year. Those guys have some dope flow. Bloomer's flow is always really nice. I like the flows of Collapse as well. Has a really nice new school flow there. Prefer patterns to sounds. Oh, I like to eat. Yeah. I like to play football. I like to think I'm sick at footy. I like to game a lot. I'd say I game quite a lot. Got my Xbox, so I chill on that quite a lot. I see my girlfriend a lot. Yeah, me and Teresa jam quite a lot. To be honest, that's about it. That's what I get on with. See some mates, jam with mates on Xbox.
Put on my shades and wave through yesterday. The sun hurts my blues. My shades and wave through yesterday. The sun.
Yo, big shout out to Sea of Thieves. I'm not doing that. I love having a chill on FIFA. Every time FIFA comes out, I play that for a few months. I also really like Trials, bike game. I'm sick of Trials. Yeah, I rate that fully. To a new beatboxer, my advice is stay inspired by music and not entirely beatboxers, because it's so easy to get absolutely hooked on beatboxing and then want to mimic those beatboxers, which is fine because you just love the art form. But if my advice in hindsight is to a new beatboxer, for a successful path, go listen to some more music. I mean, it kind of depends what their path is. If they want to get really technical, they're going to have to dwell deep into the into the beatboxing world to find the right techniques and stuff, but even then they can find them themselves. Other piece of advice to a new beatboxer is you can do it and you will do it, so just do it. Change and improve. So I already spent a while changing my style, switching to something that's way more pleasing to me and something that I want to show the world. So I've kind of ticked that one, but there's always ways I want to improve. Like I want to improve my vocal ability. That's about the main thing right now. Singing more and more and more and more, so I'm a better singer to my ear anyway. And I want to get better at kind of like flamming sounds together. I think that's always important. Like or like getting sounds to mash together. If you don't know what flam means, that's combining two sounds that are nearly the same. Like that's an important thing in beatbox. If someone spent a while flamming everything together, then they're going to be able to go like a lot of combinations that hit together. And that is kind of what makes music. I'd say that takes you a whole new step above in musical beatbox, is to be able to flam all your sounds together. Oh, yo, to be fair, that's a big one for me. That was wicked. When I won that wild card for the World Champs, because I remember putting everything I could at the time into that. So that was the best I was in that video. That was my peak ability in that moment of time. And then I remember doing a lot of takes to get that video, and then I won the wild card out of there was 3 wild cards that won it, and then I knew I'd be on the world stage. Took my first flight that year because of that. So that was insane. Yeah, that was wicked. And then I even made it to the top 16, so I did myself proud. Got a 3rd place a limb. That's insane stuff. So I was really proud of that. Yeah.
Ask me why I did my D-low kick, and I say.
To be honest, out of all of it, I think it might be my first main UK champs win. in 2016. I think that was probably my proudest. I think I felt the most like happy with myself because I took a whole year, retracted myself from battles to like revision my style, and then it worked. So that was good. I think other proud moments for me were being able to perform my songs in wildcards and on the Grand Beatbox Battle stage, for example, or any stage I've been on. Yeah, that's been some good moments. I'm aiming to make my album as original and unique as possible. I'm trying to make it 100%, well, it will be 100% vocals with as minimal mixing as possible, natural human sound. I want to really like polish and finish all of my music because there is so much music that I have. When I say so much, I mean so many songs, maybe 100. And they're all just bits and bits and bits, and they're not done. There's only like 6 maybe or 7 that are done. I like stuff that chills me out. I actually think like a philosophy that I'm creating is that most music-minded people like all kinds of music, and they have to express it in different ways. So for example, I don't listen to dubstep, I don't listen to drum and bass so much. However, in my style you'll find me doing those things to fill that void, because I think everyone needs the broad scale of music. So I listen to more chill stuff, and that will personify in a battle. Yeah, I'd say battling's important to me because that was the first like big outlet for me to be able to perform on stage. So that's what I know from the start there. I like to get into the battles. It's also a community favourite. People love battles, so I love battles because of that. So I love to get out there and show my beatbox stuff, because despite all the music that I make and all the musical routines, I've got a really kind of technical battle ready style. So I like to use that because I can. I've got a really nice set of battle beats that I probably only use in a battle. So I like to get out there and show my battle stuff and keep fans happy because they like to see that. So yeah. I prepare quite a lot. So for events, I like to do my most recent performances in the shower, like the things that are making me feel good with beatbox. I like to perform the newest stuff. So like if I'm performing to a non-beatbox crowd, I'll perform some really new stuff and get a better feel for it before I expand it further. And then preparing for battles, it will be, I use a lot of writing in my book. I write all my favourite stuff. I write how to prepare for each person, each situation. I like to have a template of each rounds. I like to have a way of switching half and putting a different half in, depending on the situation, giving yourself time to counter, time to freestyle. I've actually, to be fair, I've really took planning battles to a whole nother level, I think. So that's probably another reason why I'm still battling. It's because I'm so specifically trained for that. I got pretty hooked because I won the under-18s UK champs 2014. I'd say I've probably entered a lot of battles since then. So my method of training's got even better and better, and now I'm relaxed going into battles.
Butterfly doors, space group look like a UFO. Whoa, smoking on dope. They call me D-Low, cause my D is low. Pouring up force. Baby mama with the pot in the stove. Ain't no joke. You the type of boy go cry to a hoe. Butterfly doors, space look like a UFO. Whoa, smoking on dope. They call me D-Low, cause my D is low. Pouring up force. Baby mama with the pop in the stove. Ain't no joke. You the type of boy go cry to.
In the tag team battles, we've come against A Cloud a lot of times, so that'll be a rivalry there in the tag teams if there was one. In my loops, my rival would be Balance, because he's knocked me out twice in the loop stations, so he'll be my rival there. In the solos, inside the UK, it'll probably be Frosty, because we've met in the final. We've battled a few times on the stage. Kind of good fantasy rivalries would be somebody like Napalm, because that's always been a paired fantasy to get to see D-Lo versus Napalm for a few years. Kind of similar lip roll styles, and we've both been beatboxing at the top of our game. I think also maybe me and Codfish, proper good mates with him, and we battled in the GBB final. We battled a couple of times, so yeah, that's probably some good rivals, nice rivals. Yeah. I really want to say that Loops is my favourite, because at the moment, like that, I'm absolutely inspired on the loop, but I'd probably say Solo because that's what I've done for 13 years. Like, I've just beatboxed solo for so long, so I'm still loving it more than before, more than last week. Like, I'm still loving it even more and more and more and more, just because I'm getting closer and closer to the version of music I want to be with beatbox. So I'm loving that process. Solo, then loops, and then the tag teams, but the cruise is unexplored, and we like to crew up, so that'd be good.
Yo, ran out of roach. Anybody got green card on the coast?
Yeah, battling's, it's not entirely important because it has some things that have negatives, like it's the wrong method to create beatbox artists, potentially. It's also throws people's focus off of composition. It throws like it's kind of annoying to see beatboxers that only have 1 minute 30 sets, because that's the typical battle amount. It's like a mental barricade to progress your songs, because if you restrict yourself to 1 minute 30, then that's it, you can't explore further. Like I have sets that go to 5 minutes or something, just one on set, because I didn't restrict myself. So they're the negatives, but we've grew such a massive community from the likes of Swiss Beatbox in absolute specification. They have really took everything to the biggest level. So battles are the biggest element, because most beatboxers in the scene will go and watch a lot of battles. I think that's more desired than any other type of beatboxing. So yeah, it's important. In the future, I want my beatbox to still dominate my music, because I have such a passion for it, and I'm now so good at beatboxing. So when I take it to vocals, when I take it to music production and performance, I want beatbox to be dominant in that still. So I want to just keep improving. In the future, I think beatbox is going to progress really fast, because it's nice to have musically orientated beatbox artists and people that are making their own stuff in the major battles right now. So you've got the Grand Beatbox Battle 2019, which I'll fly to in a couple of weeks. So I'll be performing original music. You'll get Codfish performing original music. You'll get Shogo performing original music. And it's really nice to see beatboxers out there performing their own thing, and that will inspire other people to do that. So in other words, it's going to branch out and hook all the non-beatboxers in faster. Yeah. So I think beatbox in the future as a whole is going to increase faster, like the rate is going like that, in my opinion, getting up and up and up and up and up and up and up at a faster speed. So I reckon in 5-10 years time, there'll be like 5 times more people interested, and that's massive. I also think that beatbox should be taught in school, and I think it's crazy that it isn't, because in music class you're taught rhythm, and what's a better rhythm method than your own self? I think people should be able to do that. If we learn such a complex language with different ways of saying the same word, like, why can't we? Like, we all love music too. We have a whole language we can speak, and we all love music. You know, just learn beatbox. That's the way to learn rhythm. That's the most natural way to learn rhythm. So every music teacher should be able to spit a beat, and then show the kids how to do that, so they have their own tempo, because then they'll feel inspired and do that. And coming from a personal point of view, staying inspired by something like beatbox keeps you away from bad things. It keeps you focused. It keeps you motivated to succeed. So it's all positives. should be taught in school. Plus, if everyone beatboxed, imagine how musically sounding would become. Be insane. I think it might be me versus Redbeard, the under 18s. My first ever final. It was a great battle. Check it out. I think me versus Codfish was a great moment because I was in Australia with him the year before. And we was kind of jokingly talking about meeting each other in the GBB final, like a nice little fantasy, and then it happened. Like, just boom, it happened. So that was memorable because we're really good mates and we just performed our music. I also like... I had a loop. My first ever loop battle was against Bowl in the 2017 UK Champs. That was like a whole new experience, like the first battle ever again, like all over again, because it was on the loop station and it's just completely different. So yeah, other memorable battles, probably me versus Codfish in Australia. We had a fun jam. It was a really sick night there, so we had a little fun battle. So that was a pretty good thing to remember. We also had me versus ABH when I won the mains solo in the UK Champs, because that was a really big memorable moment for me. Also me versus Frosty, to see Frosty win the UK Champs.
Yeah.
That was also a memorable battle moment for me. And us winning our first tag team that year too, that was big, because yeah, we've been really good mates for a lot of years now. So when we won a team thing, that was really cool, because he was always too young to enter. So first year in and we did it.
You can check out my Instagram at DLoBeatboxBlad. You find my YouTube Delo Beatbox somewhere. You find my Patreon somewhere as well if you want for lessons. Yeah, check out my music. Hopefully it's on Spotify soon or in the future. Check out my clothing line with my girlfriend, BBXR Clothing. That will be on our website, bbxrclothing.com. We are releasing some nice stuff and I really hope that journey continues.
But that'll Is that Frosty?
Yeah.
I'll break his spine. I'm gonna break your spine. 3 seconds.
I guess that's it.